Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser Money G. I actually finally saw The Watchers. Aisha Night Shyamalan's first film. Finally saw it, and it's now time for me to do a review of The Watchers. Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser Money G. Now, The Watchers is a 2024 American supernatural horror film. It was written and directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan, based upon the novel of the same name by A.M. Shine. Now, the film stars Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Owen Fiora, Oliver Flanagan, and John Lynch. Now, in this film, a young artist gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland, where, after finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside three strangers stalked by mysterious creatures each night. Yes, they watch you all night long. Now, horror fans, we've had our fair share of horror films that would use mythical creatures from other countries as a focal point of their story. Whether it's the weeping woman from The Curse of La Llorona, a Paimon from Hereditary, or a Bagul from Sinister, and of course, Leprechaun from the Leprechaun film series. I had to add that in there. Now, to be honest, it doesn't matter how good or bad these films are, because some are good and some are bad. It seems horror filmmakers will continue to make these types of horror films. It's part of a subgenre of horror where we actually use mythical creatures as the focal point of the story. We get this particular object or thing that somebody finds, and all of a sudden it's linked to some type of mythical creature or object, and the person tries to take advantage of it. And of course, they don't obey any of the rules, and bad shit happens. It's typical standard storylines that we see in these type of horror films. So that brings us to American director Ishana Night Shyamalan's entry into this subgenre, and in her directorial debut, yes, this is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, the supernatural horror film called The Watchers. Now, in this movie, we're introduced to Mina, a young American woman who is living in Galway, Ireland, while struggling with a deal with the death of her mother. Now, while taking a parrot to the zoo in Belfast, Mina's car breaks down in the middle of a forest. And while she becomes lost, until she sees an older woman named Madeline yelling at her to start following quickly as the sun is setting. Get your ass in the house. They eventually run into a bunker-like building that Madeline calls the coop, and then she meets two other people, Sierra and Danielle. She learns that mysterious creatures that Madeline calls the Watchers come out at night to watch and learn from them from a mirror window that she calls the coop. Then Madeline explains the rules to Mina. The Watchers will kill anyone outside of the coop at night, and you can't enter the burrows. There are underground tunnels where the Watchers live during the daylight hours because they cannot survive the sunlight rays. So, can Mina and the others find a way out of this nightmare that they find themselves in? That's kind of basically what the film is about. Very simple, standard setup here. For our first time behind the camera, I must give Ishana credit for giving us a very beautiful and stylish looking film here. She did a pretty good job. I mean, obviously, she takes full advantage of the forest where the film was shot at and uses it to give the film a very beautiful but deadly setting. I mean, while the forest looks calm and relaxing, it looks peaceful. You hear the birds chirping. It looks very beautiful and relaxing. We also know that something terrible is lurking below the ground. Like I said, you really got to give the cinematography here. Like I said before, it's very produced very well, shot very well. Love how everything looks in the film. Even when you get to the coop, it's like this nice little area that you can actually relax and have a nice time in, despite the fact that obviously there are some creatures that will kill you if you get outside the coop. Now, I like the fact that Ishana doesn't let the audience know who or what the Watchers are until we get to the second act of the film. And when that happens, that ups the stakes of whether or not anyone in the coop can survive. It really ups the stakes here. I really thought it was a great way when we get to learn who and what the Watchers are. Now, for spoiler's sake, I won't reveal who and what the Watchers are, but let's just say it involves Celtic and/or Irish mythology. But it's something we've seen before in other horror movies. And well, like I said, I won't say who or what they are, but if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Now, this film is based upon the novel of the same name by Irish author A.M. Shine, and I don't know how much Ishana's script is faithful to the source material since I never read the novel. From what I understand, some people did like it, some people didn't like it because she took some liberties with the source material. Like I said, I really haven't read the books, so I don't know. So if anyone read the book, let me know if she did stick close to the source material. Now, the one problem I do have with the film are the characters, as Ishana's script doesn't allow the audience to care enough what happens to them. No, I don't fault any of the actors. As Dakota Fanning, she's fine as Mina, a woman who is struggling to deal with the death of her mother, as we learned it was caused by an incident that led her to become estranged to her twin sister, Lucy. Yeah, I guess we're supposed to feel sorry for her. You know, I like some of the stuff that Dakota does with Mina, but it's not strong enough. You know, if you want to have, because she's supposed to be, I'm assuming that she's supposed to be the focal point of the story because she's the last person to come into this particular situation. And while, like I said, I don't have any problem with Dakota's performance, it's just that she doesn't let the audience want to pull for her. And to be honest, we really don't know that much about Daniel until the middle of the second act of the film when he talks about his background, but that's about it. And the only thing we know about Sierra is that she went into the forest with her husband, who disappeared several days before Mina's arrival. So we really don't get to know anything about Daniel other than a little snippet about his backstory. And we really know nothing about Sierra as well. Again, nothing against the performances of the actors that perform these guys. It's just that Ishana's script doesn't allow us to learn anything more about these two characters. No, veteran Irish actor Owen Farrell, she's great as Madeline. I think she's the best thing in this film, and her performance, and it's her performance that carries the film. Without her, this would be a very dull and lackluster film. She's strong, she's determined, she knows what it takes to survive in this particular forest, and she's been there the longest. And I really thought she really did a great job. And it's amazing for Owen has how far she's come since she first starred in HBO's, I mean, not Netflix's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She was also in another horror picture called Teru. She was in that particular one. She's all of a sudden coming a little bit popular in horror films. Now, I'm sure you guys will be thinking if Ishana will be like her father and put a twist in this film like he does in his films, and I'll say, well, it's really not a twist. It's more like a reveal that happens in the third act in the film. For me, it was kind of predictable because when events happen, I would say right around the middle of the second act of the film, and we get to see some of the stuff that happens, it kind of led to believe this is going to involve somebody, and I won't say that somebody is, but I'm pretty sure people who have seen the film know what I'm talking about. So I wouldn't call the twist more of about a reveal because when I saw that events happening, I said, "Oh no, I know where this is going," and I was right. Now, speaking of the third act, I was rather dull and lackluster. It really doesn't provide anything satisfying. I was expecting a little bit more, but I'm like, this is it? This is all we're getting? I was expecting more. Now, again, I'll give Shauna credit for creating a very nice, fascinating story, very well filmed. Love the atmosphere, love some of the tone setting in there. I love the nice visuals. The creatures look very frightening at times, very great. But other than Madeline, not everyone in the audience, there was really not anyone in the audience to root for. It. That's the problem. I mean, if you're going to create a film like this, you want to give something the audience to care for. And unfortunately, Ishana's script does not allow that to happen. And that's a bad point. That's a bad focal point of the film. Like I said, beautifully shot, great story, nice visual effects, but bad characters. I mean, it's just like other than Madeline, it's like other three characters. Like, okay, that's nice, but what are you going to do? So I'm going to give the Watchers only 2 out of my 5 Bloody Gold coins. Like I said, very nice directing job. Love the tone, love the atmosphere. Very filmed very well. Other than Madeline, really don't care about the other 3 characters. So there you have it, guys. That is my review and video of The Watchers. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and sure really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen The Watchers? What do you thought about it? Leave your comments in your comment section. Tell me what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. That guys stay safe out there.